Well, welcome to another show here at the Guardcast IRL. I know it's been a minute. For anybody that's wondering, anybody that gives a fuck, I am back after like a long week. But that's okay because now we're here. We're here, we're ready to go. So let me first preview. Okay, that was a total mishap on my part, my bad. So anyways, spoiler alert, we're going to be kind of watching over this vid, and they've also released a post. Oops. But anyways, first allow me to introduce myself. My name is Armalite. I am your humble host and hunter only main, and welcome to my show here at Guardcast IRL. It's no longer called the Guardian. It's had a couple name changes, but I think we finally got one to stick. So welcome to my show here at the Guardcast IRL. And basically this is a place where we can have more discussion, you know. You can feel free to interact with me in the live chat, and if you're watching this in the past broadcast, obviously go ahead and hit me up in the comments. So before we actually get into all these, and I want to take my time tonight. I don't want to rush through all this and just try to get it done, I'm going to take my time. Lazy Cat, hey, what's happening? Welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy your time as we kind of go through everything, but give me just a moment. But please call me Lazy or Lazy Cat. You got it. I got you. Okay. I do want to put a post in my Discord, which a link is in the description right now. So if you happen to want to join the Discord and you do it while I'm live, then I'm actually going to shout you out. So that'd be kind of cool. And if this is, once again, if this is your first time here, this is, I do plan on where I can actually have guests on, and only 74 subs. Well, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere. You don't start off with 100,000 subs. I'll tell you that. So anyways, let me go ahead and post this real quick. Just put EP was today's. I think it's gonna be, let's close out that. Okay, so we're on episode 93. Holy shit. Okay, 93. And I'm gonna paste, and boom, there you go. You seem like you'd have at least 200. Yeah, right. I am far from that. I'm working to try to get to 100, but thank you. I do appreciate that. Okay, so I have the link in my Discord. Let's see. Okay, might get some folks up in here. Okay. So anyways, just to kind of give a little heads up for anybody that's going to be coming across this, I do have some plans. when it comes to my channel, and I would have to give it up to one of my boys, Echo. They kind of really brought this idea to life, and I'm going to make it happen. So I've decided that a portion of this channel is going to go towards build crafting, basically. I'm a hunter main, hunter only. That's where I really kind of get that's what I do. I'm a hunter main through and through. Okay, so I've tried Warlock, I've tried Titan. So I'm just going to stick with Hunter. Now, hear me out. The idea is, and I have a setup, and I don't want to give away all my secrets just yet. So, but I plan on doing builds for Hunter, and the builds are not necessarily going to be for, I guess you would say, for like grandmasters and stuff like that. Everybody's doing those, you know, for raids, grandmaster. I'm not planning on doing any of that. So my builds that I'm going to do is more on the fun side of things, and I have a pretty good layout on how I want to go about this. So, but I guess the downfall from it is it's not gonna really come until after Lightfall. Once we actually start having like where you have your loadouts and stuff like that. So that way I could try to make it organized, and for those who want to basically copy and paste these builds, they can. However, I'm gonna do this in kind of like in steps. So, but I don't want to reveal too much because I don't want someone taking my idea. So, but do expect in the future, if you're watching this live right now, or if you're watching this later on in the past broadcast, and expect that you're going to be seeing these things come about. So, but since I'm really just the hunter side of things, I'm going to be taking care of that, and then hoping this could inspire two others. One other that is basically a Warlock main, and another that is a Titan main, and we can form together this basically like a fire team of us three. And I've noticed, especially with Strand, it looks like there's going to be a lot of back and forth, you know, being able to use certain abilities alongside those who you're playing with, right? So that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to wait till after Lightfall, which luckily now me talking about this, it's literally right around the corner for us, so y'all won't have to wait that long. So, but yeah. And I plan on, I'll have a name for it. There will be videos that are not going to be very long, just kind of clean cut, you know, putting it together on how everything is synergizing, you know, together. I might go into like real like detail. I'm also trying to think how I can also present it like in the Discord, so that everybody can kind of maybe have like this booklet that people could kind of go through and they can check it out. Either I'll have links to like my videos where people can watch, you know, they can come here on YouTube, watch the videos if they see something that they like, right? So And unfortunately, I can only do hunter. So, and if I do it well enough and I have this idea on how it's going to look, it's, and like I said, it's mainly just going to be for fun. So let me check. Okay. Oh, that felt amazing. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go ahead and I might give it, let's see what we're like. We're probably almost like 6 minutes, over 6 minutes. Yeah, we're over 6 minutes. No, we're actually 12 minutes in. Holy shit. Okay. I think I'm gonna, let's see if there's any other house cleaning stuff ideas. Oh, I mentioned the last time when I had a show, I'm going to be leaning more into bringing other people in to discuss about a lot of these things, and hopefully my build videos that I plan on doing, which they're not going to be like crazy epic, you know, high ass DPS. It's more of, hey, this is just for fun. If you just want to get on Destiny, turn the HUD off and just go shoot some shit and just see a bunch of shit happening at the same time, that's what it's gonna be basically, and we'll see how it's received. And I have a way on deploying these videos, so but that is all you get to know. You get to know no more after that, not until after Lightfall, so that's still a couple more weeks and I'm sure y'all will survive. But hopefully that'll influence people to come on to the show, maybe even show some of their ideas. Maybe we'll conversate about that, other issues, because that's what this platform is it's a place where people could still come and have conversations, right? People could come, have their conversations, and just, and not to be felt like they're being belittled, because I tell you what, Twitter is not the place to do it. I'm telling you. So that's the reason why I decided to do all this. Actually, it's not the original, but also maybe even inspire some people to come onto the show, that once I start building up a following and start having a regular viewers, then I plan on having guests that are like smaller streamers that, you know, that want to kind of have that outlet. I want to be that outlet for people, and it's kind of hard to sell that to certain people when you're so down at the bottom right now. But hey, you know, like I said just moments ago when Lazy was here, you gotta start somewhere. So okay, that being said, we're already like 15 minutes in, but I'm also not trying to rush through this. I just want to chill, relax, have a decent stream. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and mute the music, and let's go ahead and watch this clip real quick. So I'm going to mute myself and I'll be back.
Strand flows through you as it flows through everything. Now is the time to lean into using Strand, not back away from it. Race where the current takes you.
All right, there you go. That's the video.
Strand
Let me go
flows
ahead. And I'm actually going to make this a little smaller. Boom, boom. Now you calls continue on seeing my beautiful face. Hell yeah. Okay, so we got a lot going on here. Basically, it's, you know, with all of these, with all three characters, we are seeing the supers being done. And I tell you what, as a hunter main, I'm liking it a lot. I'm telling you, I'm loving it. I'm loving the shit out of it. And I guess the other two are okay. I would say they're kind of meh. But that's just my opinion. Whatever I say on this channel, don't take it personal. Don't take it to heart. All right. Don't try to hold on to every word I say. I'm telling you, there's no point. So anyways, figure we kind of have this rolling a little bit. I like what I'm saying here at the end. You see this, a warlock throws this strand ball, and then the hunter can grapple onto that sucker and being pulled along with it. It's like, oh my goodness. So I hope, if this is the route that Bungie is going, I really like it, and I hope to continue seeing where not only, you know, we play amongst ourselves, but we really just synergize amongst each other. Because if you really think about it, we don't have anything at the moment, like, besides like giving each other orbs. But that almost sounds like an STD. But give each other orbs. But besides that, there's really nothing where we can kind of interact off each other. And I think that's kind of really awesome idea. And I really hope that Bungie continues to go in this route to basically make it so we could see more of that in the long run. You know, there ain't nothing more badass. Like, I always thought it would be, you know, the cutscenes that they always made, or like, you know, the videos, when they were still with Activision, they had the like live actors that, you know, did the videos to promote for Destiny, and the way that they just work together, oh, it's so nice. It's so cool. And I think we're starting to see the beginnings of that. So, but to me, it looks like Osiris is going to be kind of the front runner here at the very beginning. So I think he's going to be very much involved, since he's been out ever since Witch Queen, basically, until like last season when he somewhat came back, and then he's starting to kind of come back for this season, sorta. But he still doesn't have much of a presence in Season of Seraph. So, but here we can see that, you know, he's actually he's probably going to be most likely front and center. And hopefully we'll see a little bit more of Ikora too, because she's been kind of somewhat out of the game since, I mean, she was a little bit in with the whole Witch Queen and all that good stuff. But let me know in the live stream, let me know what you think. If you're just joining us, we're going over what Bungie has dropped, the video that they put out, and let me know what you think of it if you've already seen it. If not, I can actually play it again and we can watch it together. That's up to you. But yeah, now there is another. Let's go ahead and switch over to this. Pop over here and I'm going to put up web. Haha, yeah. Basically, this is the inside Strand. So you guys don't have to listen to me hear my lousy ass reading. I'm going to go ahead and have it read aloud.
Guardians, prepare to unlock the mysteries of Strand. In Destiny 2, Lightfall, players will gain access to a brand new elemental power to add to the current lineup of Void, Arc, Solar, and Stasis. Like its predecessors, Strand will offer players exciting new abilities and powers to dominate the battlefield, along with new wrinkles that promise to change the way Guardians think about traversal and combat. With Strand, Guardians will be wielding the fabric of the universe in ways that will be a formidable threat to anyone who stands in their way. The Strand trailer for Lightfall shows all 3 Guardian classes using Strand to deadly effect and provides an action-packed overview of what to expect.
That ain't no lie. And I tell you what, I think it's gonna be super effective, especially in PvE. Now, I think you're gonna see a lot of complaints and a lot of changes because of PvP. Just saying, that's how it always seems to work. Actually, we'll just go ahead and let it play this out for me.
Here, we're taking a deeper look into what players can expect from Strand, including a class-by-class breakdown of how each Guardian class will be plucking at the strings of the universe to play sweet destructive music. Threads make the Guardian. From the neon-drenched streets of Neptune's secret city of Neomuna to Guardians soaring through the sky by grappling to an enemy spaceship, it's been clear from the start that Lightfall is different. Yes, things are coming to a head in the penultimate chapter of the Light and Darkness saga, but Lightfall's influences and inspirations prove that there has been plenty of room for the team to let loose, to revel in their creativity and craft, and to have some fun. One of the touchstones the team drew from was the bombast and flair of 1980s action cinema.
Yes, that is one thing I've noticed is a lot of people that, especially when I always bitch and whine about Twitter, but I feel like a lot of people just, they complain, they bitch and whine, but really when it boils down to is that people have forgotten how to just have fun. Okay? Just to have fun in video games. Like, everybody's trying to be like the best, the top tier, especially trying to get into especially in PvP. That's like the worst. It's either PvP or high-end content, and it just, unless if you're like a solo player, that solo flawless is everything as a warlock. And I just feel like people just need to kick back and learn to have fun again. And that's the reason why I want to do my own build videos. There's not going to be anything spectacular. Most likely they're going to kind of resemble a little bit of what someone else has already put up. Maybe I'll add my extra flair to it, just to kind of give an idea of what it looks like, and see where that goes. But let's continue.
Think of an era of film where no explosion was too big and no action set piece was too over the top. That aesthetic informed much of Lightfall's tone, and it certainly had a big influence on Strand itself, even before it was formally known as Strand. The team had many concepts for Damage Type 5, as it was originally called in development, before aligning on the feature set and lore that brought it to life. We had a couple of frontrunner concepts for a while, said Destiny designer Kevin Yanes. Part of my desire was to have something more astral in the game. Strand also aligned really well to the fantasy of the product, the 80s action hero. As Yanes puts it, there wasn't a single aha moment where all the threads of Strand fell neatly into place. Instead, it was a result of a continuous dialogue with the team about what would make for exciting gameplay, what would make sense from a narrative standpoint, and how they could make those ideas manifest in the game. Through these discussions, Damage Type 5 slowly morphed into something a bit more specific, then called Dark Telekinesis, which evolved further, eventually manifesting into what you see today. We had lots of conversations around where the Strand concept known as weaves came from, and trying to reinforce the physical language for how it manifests and how it looks, to make it feel like it was from the same darkness family as stasis, Yanes said. The more the team talked, the more the concepts and evocative language that described Strand, with terms and descriptors like weaves, tangles, and universal strings of consciousness, came to be. It's everyone building on everyone's ideas, said designer Eric Smith. How we choose to implement these things affects how we talk about it, and vice versa, like weaving objects instead of spawning objects or summoning objects. It becomes part of the aesthetic.
Very nice. I like the way that it's going, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot like stasis. Well, most likely that's what we're going to see, to be honest. You know, we're going to see where Strand is going to be stupid powerful and kind of overshadows everything, and then they're going to end up having to dial it back. Most likely that's how we're going to see it. I'm pretty sure we're going to get to see some pretty broken builds too, and I hope, because I love the broken builds. I love the builds that just melt everything. So okay, so here's the next section. The deadly definitions.
To understand Strand, let's first start with some vocabulary.
Of course. Always gotta start with the vocabulary. There's certain vocabs that they like to introduce to help people understand it a little better.
Some vocabulary. Creating an object using Strand is weaving. Defeating an enemy affected by Strand will unravel them, disconnecting their life force from the weave, and creating a tangle. Left behind after a Strand debuffed enemy is defeated, a tangle is a swirling bundle of Strand fibers. These bundles of Strand explode when shot, causing area damage to nearby enemies. Guardians can also pick up tangles and throw them to deadly effect. On the debuff side, there are three new terms to know: suspend, unravel, and sever. Suspend: a suspended PvE enemy is lifted off the ground for a brief duration and is essentially disabled. In PvP, suspended players are lifted off the ground but can still move, albeit slowly, and fire their weapon to fight back. Unravel: attacking an unraveled enemy will cause threads to burst out of the target and attack other nearby targets. Once hit, that target will also become unraveled. Sever: a severed enemy is less capable of affecting the material world, reducing their damage output as a result.
Nice.
The major buff coming with Strand is Woven Mail. With this ability, the Guardian is sheathed in a protective mesh of Strand matter, reducing incoming damage. Note that in PvP, Woven Mail will only reduce damage taken on the body, head damage and melee damage will continue as normal.
Okay, so I'm going to say this right here, right now. I guarantee you that the whole suspend thing, especially in PvP, that is going to be an issue. I can already see it now. I can already foresee that people are not going to like that. They did not like being frozen by stasis. This might be a little bit more easier to deal with, maybe, but I highly doubt that that's going to be the case. I guess we're not really going to know until we actually see it. You know, actually have it in our hands and actually try it out and see how it goes in PvP. But yeah, like everybody's going to be using the Strand like day one, especially in PvP. Be able to grapple and suspend players, which it said that they could still move, which I like to see how that would work. And it slows them down, but we see how slowing a player down just in a fast-paced game. I hate being frozen. It was like, it was so good though. But oh well, those days have come and gone. All right, let's go to this next section.
One of the most exciting new abilities in Guardian's Strand toolkit is the grapple. With this ability, Players can press the grenade button and their guardian will weave a hook from strand matter which they can grab onto an anchor point. The grappling hook will then begin contracting, pulling the guardian along. Strand's grapple can create its own grapple points out of thin air, so you can always propel yourself through the sky even if there's not a solid surface to latch onto. Guardians will also be able to execute melee strikes during or at the end of a grapple, known as a grapple melee, which will deal bonus damage, unravel an enemy, and push them backwards.
Oh.
When we were developing the concept around ropes and string, we felt like it was the
Hold up. Okay. So Guardians will be able to execute melee strikes during or at the end of a grapple, known as the grapple melee, which will deal bonus damage, unravel an enemy, and push them backwards. Oh my god. Titans, I swear to god. Y'all are gonna be some pain in the asses. And Warlocks too, because y'all got that shitty ass, like you could just melee somebody 30 feet away and one shot kill. But Titans, oh my god, that's gonna be ridiculous. Sounds like fun. All right, let's go.
Perfect opportunity to add grapple into the game, said Smith. You never want to shoehorn something in for the sake of interaction that isn't natural. It has to be the right time, the right situation. The stars aligned for something like that here. Yanes said Strand really came to life for him when the team started seeing the power of the grapple when combined with other elements of Strand. When we got things like tangles online, we started realizing that the gameplay here is incredibly novel, interesting, and new when you have to do all these quick context switches between grappling and slamming and throwing a tangle. All these things can happen in quick succession and that rewards the player for having high APM, actions per minute, which is not really a thing we have had in the game at all, before.
Yeah.
Smith picks up that thought and runs with it. I defeat an enemy with my melee ability and they unwind into a tangle. I grapple onto the tangle, which refunds my grapple, and snatch the tangle out of midair. I then hurl the tangle at a group of enemies in the distance, grappling onto the tangle again while it flies and pulls me through the air behind me. As the tangle nears a group of enemies, I slam downward out of my grapple to suspend a lone enemy who split off from the group while the tangle slams into the rest of the group and explodes. There's a lot of these really cool dynamic interactions built into Strand and that makes it feel unique. From the start, these new mobility options
Dude, that is going to be so freaking epic. All right, so you could take this ball, throw it yourself, and then grapple onto that. Oh my god. Oh, that the builds are going to be nuts when it comes to that. I can only imagine.
Options will change the way you play. But it doesn't end there. Each Guardian class will interact with and wield Strand in a unique way, with new abilities and powerful perks to explore and customize. Here's how it breaks down.
Oh, boy, that's gonna be epic. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and run this.
Threadlings are explosive minions woven from Strand matter, he said. The Warlock...
Hey, that's not where I pressed. The Warlock is our Strand minion master, said Smith, when explaining how Destiny 2 masters of all things space magical will utilize Strand. To understand how Warlocks will bend Strand to their will, you'll have to first understand threadling. Yes, I said that correctly.
Warlock Broodweaver, being the cerebral type, is more in tune with Threadlings than the other classes.
Threadlings.
All Threadlings will run forward, jump on enemies, and explode. But only the Warlock's Threadlings will return to the Warlock and travel with them if they can't find a target.
Huh. Yeah, so those little critters that run across the ground for the Warlocks seems pretty badass. Okay, so we're gonna run this. Hear a little bit more about the Warlock side of things with Strand.
Let's say I have 3 Threadlings and I only need 2 of them to defeat an enemy. If I'm a Warlock, that last one is going to run back, hop onto me, and condense down into a form that is orbiting me, which is known as perching. Then, the next time I attack an enemy, it will pop off and attack that same enemy, which really gives it this sense of having these minions that are doing my bidding. They love me and they want to come back and hang out with me. But it's not just in summoning and wielding threadlings that warlocks excel. With their Strand melee attack, warlocks cast Arcane Needle, a deadly projectile which tracks targets, causing high damage and unraveling them upon impact. Warlocks will be able to quickly chain 3 Arcane Needle attacks in a row.
Jesus.
Warlocks have 2 Strand aspects to utilize, and it's here where threadlings once again enter play. Weaver's Call. On Rift Cast, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs, which hatch into threadlings when they hit a surface. Any perched threadlings are converted to additional eggs. Mind Spun Invocation. This aspect improves several of the Warlock's abilities. Grapple. When you execute a grapple melee, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs from the target. Threadling Grenade. You can consume your Threadling Grenade to generate a full complement of perched threadlings. Shackle Grenade. You can consume your Shackle Grenade to gain a buff, creating a suspending detonation on every kill.
Gee.
The Warlock's telekinetic abilities culminate with their super, Needle Storm, a deadly combination of burst damage and area denial. On cast, the Warlock conjures Strand Matter into a fusillade of hardened spikes, launching them forwards with a wave of their hand. The missiles will stick into enemies and the environment alike before detonating and reweaving themselves into an army of threadlings that will hunt down any survivors.
You know, that's actually pretty sick. So it's yeah. Threadlings? Yeah. That actually sounds really, really cool. But here we are with the main focus, obviously, because I am a hunter main, so gotta hear about the hunters.
While every Strand Guardian class will have access to the grapple and the array of mobility options it brings, the Hunter takes movement and speed to an entirely new level. From attacking multiple enemies at once while in mid-air to using a new rope dart weapon that benefits from maximum agility, it's no wonder that playing the Threadrunner has been compared to the thrill of watching a superhero come to life.
Yeah. The rope dart sounds awesome. Okay. I can't wait to hear more about this. Let's go. Want to hear more?
The Threadrunner's melee attack, Threaded Spike, has the Hunter hurling out a rope dart that bounces between enemies, damaging and severing them before returning to the Hunter. Upon its return, it grants melee energy for each enemy hit. Hunters can catch the rope dart by pressing the melee input button at the right time. Perfecting that timing will earn the player an additional amount of melee energy. 2 Strand aspects will be available for Hunters. Ensnaring Slam. While in the air, press the air move input to slam downward, suspending all nearby enemies.
Nice.
Widow's Silk. This aspect grants an additional grenade charge. The Hunter's grapple ability creates a persistent grapple tangle when it latches, which fully refunds grenade energy when grappled to. Hunters can use this ability to set up chains of grapple points that their entire team can use, greatly enhancing their ability to quickly move around in combat and/or traverse the environment.
Oh my god.
The lethal combination of grapple and rope dart converge with the Threadrunner's super, Silk Strike. When activated, the Hunter uses their grapple to freely move through the world in third-person view, while also throwing their rope dart to strike down enemies. Hunters will be able to use grapple more often during the super, and the rope dart features both a light and heavy attack. The light attack is meant for single opponents and can be used in air and on the ground. When on the ground, the Hunter can chain attack seamlessly. Hitting an enemy with the tip of the dart deals bonus damage, and defeating an enemy with it causes the enemy to explode. The heavy attack has the Hunter swing the rope dart around in a 360-degree arc, damaging all nearby enemies. As with the light attack, this can be used on the ground or in the air.
That's nuts. This the Widow's Silk, that is going to be nuts. Hunters can use his ability to set up chains of grapple points that their entire team can use, greatly enhancing their ability to quickly move around in combat and or traverse the environment. That's gonna be nuts. I'm telling you, PvP is going to be a nightmare. So if you're a PvP main, I feel sorry for you. But I love it. I like this.
The hulking mass of a Guardian stands before a squad of enemies, ignoring their paltry taunts. Without warning, gigantic blades made of tightly woven Strand Matter surround her hands, and she leaps into the fray, powerful blades whirling in fury. The Titan's powerful woven gauntlet slice through scores of her foes, and the enemies of humanity tremble.
Yeah, I think definitely the Titan's going to be very interesting. Let's go here and then read aloud.
From the start, the fantasy for the Strand-wielding Titan Berserker was wild, untamed power. As this subclass's name suggests, the Titan uses Strand in ways that ensure maximum carnage, with in-your-face attacks that can sever enemies en masse before they are permanently deleted. The Titan's Strand melee ability is Frenzied Blade. With a press of the melee button, the Titan dashes forward and slashes at enemies with their Strand arm blades, severing victims and decreasing their damage output. With a default set of 3 charges, Titans can chain these slashes together for maximum offensive power. Titans will also be able to utilize a pair of aspects. Into the fray, destroying a tangle weaves woven mail onto the Titan and nearby allies. In addition to reducing damage taken, this aspect also increases the Titan's melee energy regeneration while wearing woven mail. Dranger's Lash. When the Titan casts their class ability, the Titan will blast forward a powerful ripple in reality, suspending enemies that are caught in the shockwave's path. The Titan Berserker's super, Blade Fury, sees the Titan dual-wielding fist blades and roaming the battlefield with ill intent. The super's light attack is a supercharged version of the Frenzied Blade melee attack, and each light attack that connects increases the next attack speed, which tops out after a maximum of 3 hits. In addition, connecting with light attacks also builds energy for the super's heavy attack with each hit. With the heavy attack, the Titan hurls a pair of projectiles forward that seek out enemies, suspending and damaging them on impact.
Of course. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to finish this up kind of here at the end. Just go ahead and... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and finish this up and we'll talk about it.
Elsewhere, Strand will see 3 new grenades, including Grapple, which is controlled with the Grenade button. The Threadling Grenade splits into 3 projectiles that weave into Threadlings upon impact. The Shackle Grenade effectively acts as a bola, detonating in a suspending blast and sending out smaller secondary bolas to suspend nearby enemies. Finally, it wouldn't be a new elemental power in Destiny 2 without new fragments to explore and customize your Strand-wielding Guardian. Here's a look at a few of the new fragments. Thread of Ascent, activating your Grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants increased weapon handling and airborne effectiveness for a short time. Thread of Fury, damaging targets with a tangle grants melee energy. Thread of Finality, finishers generate threadlings. Thread of Warding, picking up an orb of power grants woven mail. From enemy-seeking threadling minions to bombastic supers to game-changing new mobility options, Strand is bringing a host of unique abilities to every Guardian's arsenal. Prepare to conjure and weave for yourself in Destiny 2, Lightfall when it launches on February 28th.
Okay, so... It seems... Okay, so with this aspect... Oh no, not aspects. The fragments, right? Okay, so Thread of Warding, picking up an orb of power grants woven mail. Now, I believe, I'm not sure exactly, I can't remember exactly what it is that woven mail does for you. I just know that like the hunters, they have that. I want to say it's something like an overshield. Most likely, but maybe not so much. I'll have to look into it to actually see what it is exactly that the woven mail is, because now really thinking about it, it's like if you can literally have, I think Charge of Light builds can actually make a comeback where we can kind of move away from the well making builds, because the wells have been kind of dominant over for quite some time now, especially with different type of builds. But if we're going to be having this, and depending on what it is that woven mail does, we're most likely going to be seeing orbs of, well, or orbs of power, not orbs of light anymore. But the orbs of light, where you can create more of those. But I'm pretty sure Bungie has been kind of knocking that back a little bit as well over a long period of time. So I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, that's basically just kind of an overview. It's got some really badass pictures here of each one, kind of from the video itself. This is sick. I actually went ahead and collected all 3 or 4 actually. This one is really nice. I'm thinking about putting that as my background on my PC. Looks really sick. Love it. Hopefully we'll start seeing where, like with this whole grappling thing, I really hope that we can start seeing Bungie lean into it so that we can interact with each other other than just feeding each other orbs kind of thing. But to be able to, in combat, like where we can, you know, chain things together, like someone does this and it gives you this ability to do, you know, like, you know, you have your buddy that throws the strand ball basically, and then you could quickly grapple hook onto it and launch behind the enemies or something, and, you know, just have this whole badass thing going on cinematically. Like you could really have some cool shit going on. And I really hope, I really hope that we see more of that. So, okay. So there's that. And let's actually take a look. I went ahead and put this up to actually kind of get an idea of what people, if people are kind of taking this quite well or not. I'm pretty sure we'll see. They like it or they don't like it. Of course, you got the Spider-Man meme. Everybody's like, oh, we'll finally get to be Spider-Man. All right, Warlock or Hunters, it's time to get our Spidey outfits on and really bring it to life. Yeah. This is actually pretty sick right here. This part, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like, oh, I love it. Hunters, let's go. Yo. But we got the rope dart, baby. Got the rope dart. That's going to be fun to use. Can't wait for this game. Let's go. Why can't I get Quicksilver Storm? I pre-ordered. I don't know. I can't answer that for you. Okay, so Strand looks really fun to use, especially on Warlock. 3 more weeks. I can't wait any longer. Holy shit. Those supers look broken as fuck. Good thing I pre-ordered. Yeah. Rolling through Neo Moon as a Warlock. Really? Just destroy everything, I guess. Okay. Holy shit, did Strand just solve puzzling? Jumping puzzling? Or jumping puzzles. No more lost flawless attempts. You know what? To be honest, I think it's gonna take some getting used to, especially adding with this whole grappling thing. But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty epic. Different voice actor for Cyrus. I haven't heard anything about anybody saying that. So honestly, this just feels like stasis. Warlocks have seeking projectiles that travel on the ground and freeze. I mean, stringing up enemies. Hunters have a melee that bounces and hits multiple targets, and Titans punch stuff with fists covered in string instead of ice. You know that, okay, with this specific comment here, let me kind of roll it back if you weren't paying attention to what was being said, or if you just so happened to not read. They also did say that they wanted to really resemble the darkness. They wanted to basically not be the exact same, but kind of rhyme almost. They did state that. So if that helps you in any kind of way, which you're probably never going to see this video, but for anybody else that was probably thinking of that, that's, yeah, there's going to be some aspects that are maybe going to be a little bit similar. Like, oh, but it's basically the same thing. I mean, not really. I mean, I don't have anything that does what the Strand does. Now, what I would say, like the Warlock, it almost looks like Blade Barrage. I would say that. So, incredible abilities and super Titans. We can punch more. I mean, that's what you are. You're a Titan. Eat crowns. All right, that's what you do. You punch shit. As a Titan main, I'm hyped for Lightfall, but incredibly disappointed with Titans are getting this expansion. The other subclasses are unique and inspired. Titans is just a green striker. What happened? Are you going to make efforts to making Titan subclass more interesting? Well, if any other Titan mains feel the same way, do let me know. Either here in the live chat, or you could let me know in the comments section below. If you made it this far in the video, you're a fucking OG, I'll tell you that. Okay, me, a loyal Titan, watching the Warlock have hand animations and the Hunter kick a string around. hey, it's so cool, and that string has a blade on it. All right, it's rope dart. Do I love Fist of Havoc version 4? I hope I'm wrong, but Titan Strands looks like Titan Stasis Behemoth, but green. It seems like that's going to be the same. It looks the same, and we're doing the same thing, even though you got a barricade that literally just launches shit out at the enemy to causing them to suspend. You know, y'all can say whatever you want. All right, you can say what you want. To be honest, once you get into the whole, you know, once Lightfall hits, y'all might actually be happy with what you got. Now, okay, let's see. Still kind of mad at the Titans is another melee, like most of the other iterations, especially when it could have been a shutdown super using a backpack fed assault cannon made of Strand. You know, that would actually be kind of cool and very fitting if they ended up doing that. I kind of watch, like, I think it'd be kind of funny if, you know, you get enough people, especially on Twitter, that bitching and whine about it. They might end up being like, hey, we're going to change it up for the Titans. We're going to give them something else. But that would be kind of cool to see them with something like this. This is like a photo that someone did. It's actually pretty cool. Just a fucking blaster. You'll be seeing Ghostbuster memes all over the fucking place. I guarantee you. I can't seem to get myself excited about Lightfall since Forsaken. We've not had a DLC that really improves the quality of life for PvP. I am also feeling we're going to have a new subclass that breaks PvP again, like Stasis did in Beyond Light, for more than a year. Yeah, Strand is going to break PvP. It's going to break it up from what it is now. It's definitely, it's never ending freaking struggle. You know, I'm just gonna, you know what, just take abilities out of PvP. Just make a gun game. That's it. That's all you get. You want to play PvP so goddamn bad and you don't want to have any kind of abilities or anything like this. You know, it always seems like, oh, it's the superstar destroying PvP or the ability spamming. Take that shit out then. Just make a gun game. See how long people actually enjoy this. I'm just saying. Let's see what happens. You know, fuck around, find out. Let's see what happens. So let me get this straight. We can only grapple from our grenade, meaning it's limited. Plus, it's not an actual movement selection similar to Hunter, triple jump, or Warlock grinding in the air. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not sure. Over to aspect, only 2 aspects, even more bare bones than stasis, which is outclassed by Light 3.0. I mean, I got a feeling that, yeah, stasis, it's still really good if you know how to build into it. And you know how to set it up, especially if you set it up in your own play style. You know, everybody plays differently. But stasis can be good. I feel like when it comes to a lot of these builds that people do, which I noticed that a lot of people that do have builds that they want to put together, they want to eliminate the artifact altogether, so you don't have to use, so that way the build can last, because you're not really sitting on, like, you're not trying to lean into using so much of just the artifact, the mods from the artifact. So you can actually have a very decent build even before you even unlock all the super powerful stuff later at the end. So yeah. When light falls, are you implying that the traveler will fall? Who knows? Titans just Striker again should do something cooler with the dual blades like Kratos and God of War. And you got a beautiful little drawing. That's nice. I love it. Silver Surfer. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I think it's time for another inspiration or installation build from the 5x/S, because this game is played out. Send us an Alpha C for the new experience with new enemies and possibly a new class. That would be nice. Also, can you guys make raids easier for solo players, like temporary teams? I would say, like, really with this comment, it's more of they're going to be implementing a better LFG for like raids and all those kind of things. Now I know, like, someone like Astcross, he made a statement about, you know, make raids like matchmaking, where people can matchmake. And yeah, it'll be toxic. Yeah, it would be hard, because you get people that are like, they'll be kicking you out because you ain't got that certain weapon, or do you know what to do? And people get frustrated because the person will say, yeah, I know what to do, but they really don't know what to do. And yeah, so yeah, who knows? But they are going to be implementing the whole LFG within the game, so we don't have to really rely on third-party services as much. I mean, they're already going to be setting up where you have builds, so it's all in game. I'm trying to feel bad for Titan fans who supposedly get another Fist Bash alt, but then as a Warlock, whose Arc and Solar alts and Void give or take care just I find it hard. I don't know. I'm just going to go past that one. I hope that I'm wrong once I get my hands on it, but as a Titan main, this trailer does nothing but disappoint me, as once again there seems to be little creativity behind the super. Why should I be excited about another punch roaming super and have the numerous times over? Titans will be Titans. That's what Titans do, I guess. I mean, yeah, you can have like you can have Strand where it's like, oh, you can have us pull out like this like tanky where we got like a crazy machine gun or something, which probably would break the game, you know, for one, because we have already seen how some supers just are busted. But yeah, and more Titan subclass. I'm so bummed about the Titan subclass. Try not to make it OP challenge, impossible edition. Please do not make the obtainable Strand fragments like the stasis ones. It was so bad, and I didn't even do them all because how long it took. It really wasn't that bad though. Like, unless like, okay, I did it when Beyond Lightfall. I stuck with it. You know, it was kind of like a trickle effect. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad for me. I just kind of did my thing, got it done for that reset week, and then moved on until the next week. But if people are coming back or they're just starting the game, it's like you can literally find ways to be more passive about it. You know, when you focus grind, I feel like that's where people really just get burnt out really quick. When you're trying to get that one thing and you're just trying to get that one thing to drop, or you're trying to get that one thing to complete. If there is a way where you could play the game but just have things complete themselves over a period of time, it's not really that bad. Like now I go for transmog because I want to make sure that I have stuff for transmog. I just go to Ada, especially at the beginning of the season. I'll just grab the bounties and I'll just hold on to them. And then if I've completed a few of them doing that. I wish it would up the amount just a little bit though, because it feels like I only get like one piece at a time, but hey, it's not like I got like 1,000 pieces that I'm really trying to go for. So if Strand grapple takes your grenade's place, my button configuration on console is going to be a mess. Right now I have down on the D-pad as my grenade so I can jump with the bumper, which isn't ideal. Controllers need more buttons. Well, that's not Bungie's problem. that would be whichever console you're playing on, like, or you can switch to PC. You know, you got lots of buttons on PC. Another Titans were an afterthought. What they showed is extremely underwhelming. Guess I won't be playing Strand on my Titan. Yeah. I think a lot of these people are just so... I'm a hunter trying to hit the spicy cliffs using grapple and random flying objects. I'm ready. Yes. Oh, this is totally gonna be me, just so you know. That's totally gonna be me. Okay, I think most of it is like, oh, this is great, and then the rest of it is like, oh, Titans get a sucky super. I don't like it because they're just a bunch of punchy boys, I guess. Well, maybe try a different subclass. Maybe come to a hunter. Maybe, you know, you might like being a hunter. Or you can go warlock. Yeah, if you like to be a floaty fairy, you can be a warlock. That's what I say. Okay, so there's the end of the drama on there. I'm done dealing with it. All right. So anyways, we are, let's see, how far into the stream are we? Oh, we've hit our 1 hour mark. Hell yeah, let's go. Okay, so we've got to take a look at the whole Strand, and got a little deeper dive with the witchy, the like aspects, fragments, a little, kind of giving you a little bit of a taste of what's going to be coming. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, and we're just going to have to see. Now, I do see that when it comes to the Titans, there's a lot of people are just not very impressed with the Titan Super, and they feel like, oh, Titan's got the short end of the stick on this one. And to be honest, we're just going to have to see what Bungie does with that. What do they do with that information? Do they literally rebuild the entire or come up with something completely different for Titans? Are they even capable of doing that? I mean, they're going to literally have to, like, unless if they have something just in case, you know, they'd be like, hey, let's release this, and if the feedback comes back that's bad, then maybe we could be able to throw out the next one and show it off. But you know what that's gonna do? People are gonna, but you know, it's funny because people say that now, they complain about it, but I guarantee you that a lot of the times, once they get Strand in their hands and they're actually using it, and they find out that they're broken builds that they could use, bet they're going to be using it. It's all that they're going to use. Now, the only way now to be able to prove that wrong, the only way you're going to be able to see that majority of the community that is not on Twitter, that are actually upset about the whole Titan Strand Super, is if they see like this downward spiral of nobody's using the Strand on Titan. Like nobody. Like that's the only way people are going to be able to, because Bungie goes by the numbers, right? They go by the numbers. They go by feedback, but they also go mainly off the numbers. So if people actually do not like the fact that the Titans got shafted, if they feel like they got shafted on this one, then they're just going to have to show it and don't play Strand on Titan. So, but that's unless if we start seeing builds that are broken, then people are like, oh, Titans were actually busted. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but I'm still gonna bitch about it. Well, unless if Bungie sees that nobody's playing Strand on Titan, they may not do anything about it. And to be honest, I don't even know how difficult it would be for them to be able to recreate a whole super for one character, if they're really going to go that route, or they might change it up a little bit or something. But at the same time, what are we going to see? Are we going to see like the warlocks? You're going to have people on Twitter that are warlock mains, so like, oh, we want something different too. And maybe the hunters are like, hey, we're pretty satisfied with what we got. So most likely that's what it's gonna be. I think the rope dart is a pretty cool, awesome idea, and I really hope we could see that further on. So all right, see, we're well over an hour and 10 minutes now, so okay, so anyways, that's basically all I kind of got for tonight's show. If you made it this far, you are the GOAT. I appreciate you so much. And do hit that like button to feed the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button to feed that algorithm, baby. Let's get this ball rolling. Let's get this show out there. You can share it with your friends if you like. You know, if you think that there's people out there that would actually enjoy listening into something like this. I think it's going to be a lot more interesting when I could get some guests on, you know, when I can have someone to actually have a conversation with. So like, for instance, if I decide to, you know, I got somebody in line that wants to be on the show, I'll just go ahead and play this kind of stuff, kind of read through anything, or let my PC do it, and then I can bring them on afterwards so that they can actually watch the stream, kind of get an idea of what's being spoken about, unless if they've already seen everything or whatever. But I would do that after, and then that way we can have a conversation about everything. That's where I want to get to. That's what this show was developed on, and I really want to get to that point again and have that effect. So, but other than that, we are, and again, like I was talking about at the beginning of my stream, I am going to be working on builds called Lightfall once I kind of get a feel for everything. And I think I'm going to start with my favorite, like my favorite super right now, or my favorite subclass, which is Top Tree Tether. And so it's going to be the void side of things. And so, and I'm going to try to work it out so that everything makes sense, make it where you could follow it step by step, you know, really not try to rush through it too much. But yeah, and I have ways on how to deploy that, so I'm going to be working on that, getting it built up. I got a name set up for it, and hopefully y'all really enjoy it. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get the hell out of here, and I will have another show tomorrow night, and really just keep on the grind, baby. Gotta keep on the grind. All right, let me turn that off. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and or whatever time it is that you're watching this. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow night. So, and until we meet again, Guardians, y'all keep it classy.